Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Rianda. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, ready to start a new week. This week we are continuing our work on the This I Believe study and essays. This week you will be writing your first draft of your This I Believe essay. So to get started, as always, we click on Materials, Unit 2, Session 2. Again, notice the due date, Sunday, September 29th before midnight, as always. If you haven't already watched this video, this is really where you will find it. If you've already watched this video, you can start with the session plan, and that's where I always begin. This is where you should begin every single Monday morning. And like I mentioned, this week we are going to be writing your first draft of your This I Believe essay. You're going to be reading some more This I Believe essays, watching some more videos of This I Believe. And then this week is your first draft. Next week you'll be revising your first draft, doing some peer editing, and then submitting your final This I Believe essay at the end of next week. And a little further down here, you'll find the important announcements and things I just want to make sure that you're aware of. Mr. Self he's kind of freaking out a little bit because, as he should be, only about 30% of Jeffco students have changed their passwords. And so what this means to you is if you have not changed your password yet, then you will be locked out starting October 1st. And just first thing today, if you haven't done this yet, just go ahead, click on that link right there, and it will help you reset your password. If you have any questions about that, just message me or email me, and I'm happy to help. But please do that first and foremost this Monday morning. Here are all the assignments and the point values that are due this week. As you can see, we're going to be doing some pre-writing. We're also going to be doing some discussion and then submitting your first draft. So on Monday, as always, I advise you to watch this update as well as review the elements of the personal essay and how to write a personal essay, some tips. On Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, this is when you should be submitting your pre-writing, posting to discussion, as well as reviewing the rubric of the This I Believe essay that I'll be using for your final draft next week. Post to the discussion again, and then finally on Friday, submit your first draft. And be sure to respond to students 2 times this week. So to get started, as always, you click Next. Remember, you have to click Next to be presented with the content in order, because that's very important. In these first 2 slides, you'll be, again, reviewing some elements of the This I Believe essay. Here, you'll be watching a video, thinking about purpose and audience when you start writing your This I Believe essay this week. And then you'll be talking about what a personal essay is and what it is not. You'll be doing that here in these next 2 slides. And then finally, it's going to be your turn to start writing. You have had plenty of examples to be reading the past 2 weeks here and watching, and so now it's your turn. In this first step of the writing process, you are going to be selecting your topic. And down here is a graphic organizer to help you with your pre-writing. What you're going to do is you are going to think of 3 topics, themes, or statements that you think you want to write about in your essay, and then you're going to brainstorm further on just 1. If you want to use the graphic organizer and brainstorm on all 3 of your topics, please feel free to do so, but you're only required to present 3 topics and then brainstorm in depth about 1. And then you'll submit that on the next page here, clicking Next to navigate through. Here, we are talking about touchstone text. And what that is, it's basically the text that's going to be helping you guide your writing this unit. This is the touchstone text, is what you will be referring to and modeling your essay after. Okay, so for this discussion, what you'll need to do is discuss a different TIB essay, or this I believe essay, from the one that you meant, not the one that you mentioned last week in your discussion. You're going to choose a different essay, your favorite essay so far, and you're going to do a couple of things. As your touchstone text, it's going to again help you with your writing. And so what you're going to do is, down here is the link to all the This I Believe essays. And using this link, what you need to do is find your text, find your favorite TIB essay, and share that link with the class, post it in the discussion. Along with sharing that link, you are going to comment on one excerpt, which is a quote, a passage from that essay that represents strong writing that you want to model your writing after. So in your post, you're going to include the link to the essay, you're going to include the quote itself or the passage itself, and then one more sentence explaining why you think the quote is an example of powerful writing. Okay? Then the last step here is you are going to use one or two sentences to explain how you will make your own writing similarly powerful. So you're going to explain how you are going to use that example to create powerful writing. So it's a pretty in-depth post to this week's discussion. Make sure you read every step, that you get every step of this discussion in your post. Normally our posts are worth 20 points. This week it's actually worth 30 because it is much more in depth. After you are pre-writing and after your discussion about the text you're going to be modeling your writing after, it's time to start writing your first draft. So you've got your topic, and down here on the bottom is the rubric that I'll be using to grade your final This I Believe essay next week. Be sure that you click on this and you review all the fours, what a 4 looks like. Okay? After reviewing the rubric, then it's time to start writing your first draft. And this is the organization I would like for you to follow in your first draft. Okay? One thing that I want to really I should have put this in the tips. Your This I Believe essay should not be one long paragraph. It should not be a journal entry. It should not be a stream of conscious kind of writing, even though you're writing about a personal experience. It should be organized in paragraphs. So here, the introduction, the first paragraph would be the introduction. And this is where you write one sentence to one paragraph that sets the stage for the story that's coming. Then you'd write 2 to 3 paragraphs telling that story of what happened. And then finally is the exploration. This is where you write 1 to 2 paragraphs that tell the reader how your experiences changed your thinking and what finally you believe. Not what you don't believe, but what you do believe. Okay, so please be sure to use this organization for your first draft. And here on the next page is where you're going to submit your first draft. And then finally, that's it. This is the end of the session. I do want to inform you too that next week when we are finalizing your draft, you will be doing some peer editing. So be ready to share your essay with your classmates next week. If you have any questions about anything, like always, please contact me. Thanks.